So we are 2 weeks out from the event, and hopefully by now everything that you have ordered has arrived to you. Hopefully. More stories of the road trip from hell, which I'll eventually talk about. I don't know. But this is why I was talking to you guys about a month ago, because if you've ordered everything way back then, it should be arriving now. So what you want to do is actually assemble your gun with the new parts, and you want to shoot it. Don't just shoot it once or twice to make sure that it works once or twice. Actually, cycle the gun a couple hundred times, if you can. I would say go out and go play, but some people are like, I'm going to be playing a lot next weekend. Well, this is a good time to make sure that it actually works. If you haven't played before now, you might want to do that. So kind of get out there and go do it. Now, if the part doesn't work, figure out how to do it, or just put the old one back on. And actually, I would highly recommend you take the old part with you to the field if you can. Because you might go to this big game and realize that new doodad that promised 100 more shots per air tank doesn't work. And that's happened to me before too. So you might want to be able to swap out to the old part that you might hate it, but it works. So just something to think about. So let's see here. You should be, if you had anything like jerseys on order, they should be through the other clothing, or if your car needed to be fixed, it should be done, so that's all good and dandy. So that's all the maintenance stuff that should do it. So let's talk about your other stuff. You might want to make a checklist at this point. You got 2 weeks to go. Make a checklist of all the things that you want to take with you. Now, the reason you're doing that now is because in 3 days, if you remember, oh wait, I need to grab one of these things, it's better to do that with like a week to go than it is when you get to the event. Just letting you know that. So kind of make a checklist. What I do personally is I just run from the bottom up. Okay, start with my cleats, and then the socks and pants and so on and so forth. And I have all that in mind, and I just literally pack it like that. And so eventually you just don't forget anything. Now, if you're more of a list kind of a guy, I know that Cat Shack has Cat Shack reports. I've seen a list with their name on it. And I know there's a bunch of other people who make checklists and stuff like that too, so you can probably lift one from them if you can't figure out all the stuff that you need. Also, and I kind of talked about this a while ago when I was talking about the ID tags. If you need your medications, make sure you have them and make sure you know where they're going to be. And if you can, make sure the guys in the vehicle with you know where your medications are. It's one of those things that, if there's an emergency that pops up, it's better to know. And yeah, but I'm kind of weighing that. So let's see here. Oh yeah, other stuff you might want to buy. You might want to get some other supplies too. One thing I really recommend is getting yourself a soft-sided cooler. One of those collapsible jobs, they're relatively inexpensive. But the advantage to it is that you can take things like lunch meat with you. Now that sounds dumb, but if you're road tripping, you can take like sandwiches with you, throw them in the soft-sided cooler, and just start driving. That's at least 1 or 2 meals that you don't have to buy on the road, and you can just keep on going. That'll save you at least an hour and a half worth of drive time. A lot of people say, oh, we'll just run into the McFood place and go buy ourselves some food. That only takes like 10 minutes. Yeah, a 10-minute stop ends up being at least half an hour. I'm just saying. So if you don't want to make many stops, it's a consideration. Also, you can bring like a whole bunch of sodas with you in the car and just, going back and forth with that. So highly recommended you get a soft-sided cooler. Also, if you don't have it already, get yourself a personal MP3 player. Reason is, and this is a personal bias on my behalf, the driver chooses the music. I don't care. There is no debate on this one. The driver chooses the music. And if you don't like the music the driver chooses, have your own set of headphones. And I have suffered through many, many, many road trips where I'm driving and I'm completely miserable because I do not want to be listening to Miley Cyrus on the radio. Not that I'm naming names or anything. And not that I'm bitter. So that's just a couple of things to think about. So like I said, 2 weeks to go, start making your checklist, start thinking about what you're going to be taking with you, and we'll take it from there.